What's up, y'all? It's Truth Tiger, and today I'm going to talk about something different, something unique. You are a drop of rain in the hurricane of change. I am as well. We all are. And there are big changes that are going to be coming. There are big changes that need to come to the world, to society. And these changes are not being talked about by the societal institutions. They are not being talked about by government, by organized religion, by politicians, by whatever organizations, the educational organizations, all these societal institutions, the medical institution, none of them are talking about this. None of that, it's not even on their radar. But these big changes need to come in terms of the way people treat each other. People need to start loving their fellow. People need to start treating each other with love and kindness. Love your neighbor, love your fellow, love your brother, love your sister. We need to start doing this, and this is not happening. We're also living in an age where wisdom is dying out. People are so in their ego, they're so in the system, they're so into society, they're so into the matrix, people are just very, very lost and very confused and very burnt out. And people really have been spun around in a circle so many times by society. They just do not know which way is up and which way is down. And people are so caught up in their own egos, for one, and they are also caught up in the societal institutions and the way the societal institutions teach people how to think and how to reason. The thing is, it's like the knowledge that you have and the framework of your mind, it's shaped from the time you're a little kid. And when you're in a certain environment, your mind is going to react to that environment, and you're going to have certain limitations imposed in your mind from the environment that you are from. And the societal institutions control the environment that we are in, and they control the knowledge that we let in. And that causes limited thinking. And a lot of people are very egotistical. They think they know everything. They think it's all about them. And that also causes people's thinking to be very limited and very fractured. And as a result of that, people's hearts have become corrupt. Everyone is confused. And we're in a world full of hateful people, lies, corruption, narcissists, backstabbers, toxic people. There's toxicity and fakeness everywhere you turn. It is very hard to find a real person, a genuine person. It is very hard to find someone who's truthful. And it's also even harder to find someone who's willing to think outside of the box, who's willing to accept new ideas, who's willing to challenge the status quo and get outside of the box. It's very hard to find these kind of people. And a lot of people take a lot of pride in the societal institutions. They take a lot of pride in this very limited way of thinking that people have taken on, and they really will enable it and will defend it and will try to really go hard against people who do not conform the way they do. They will. And when you don't conform, they will try to put you on the outside and isolate you. And for me, at least, and I think for most of us, it's like we have had to become so individualistic because we don't conform, and we have been pushed to the outside of society. It's like we can't be a part of anything. We can't take part in this worldly society because knowing what I know, and also just the fact that this worldly society has not been good to me. It has not showed me love. It has not showed me kindness. It has not been honest to me. It has deceived me, and it has hated me. So what am I supposed to do then? Am I supposed to be, I love all the societal institutions. I love how they steal from me. I love how they distort truth. I love how they control me. And not just them, but all the enablers. I love all these egotistical, backstabbing, weird, really manipulative, I love being around all those people. No, No, and a big, big change has to come. I mean, if you're outside, you realize they're very judgmental. People are just like mad. And people have this whole thing. They want to wag their finger at you. They want someone to be angry at. They want someone to try to blame. They want to play the victim and try to turn you into the bad guy. People have all kinds of just twisted up weird ways of being. And it's very hard to find a genuine person. And it goes even deeper that unfortunately for most of us, these kind of people are in our own families. And it's like, what do you do there? And that's a tough one to navigate when your family are full of haters and full of people who are trying to limit you. And this is where the change needs to come. And the thing about this change, it's not a change that's going to go through the societal institutions. It's not a change that's going to go through organized religion. It's not a change that's going to go through politics. It's not a change that's going to go through government. It will affect all those things, definitely, but it's not going to happen within those things or around those things or with those things. Those things are going to be swept up in the hurricane because this hurricane is coming from God, and it's far, far, far bigger than any of that stuff. And another thing about this hurricane, we're drops of water. We're not going to be aggressive. We're not going to be fiery. We're just going to be drops of water moving forward and doing our thing. I first thought of this idea probably about a month or two ago. I was, doing my channel, and I'm like, channel's doing well. I'm helping people. I'm making some money. Cool. But I remember thinking like, man, a big change has to happen in society. Big things have to happen worldwide. And I'm like, I can't do those big things all on my own. I cannot do those big things individually. And then I realized that I am a part of a big, big collective, and we are all a part of a big collective, a big, big, big storm cloud that is in the sky and that is ready to burst water. We are all a part of that, and that cloud is ready to burst, and those rains are about to come. And those rains will not be stopped. They will try to build a levee. We will go right through that levee. They will try to, dig a ditch, dig a dam, dig a canal, whatever. We won't even go in that ditch. We won't go in that canal. We will flow to the side above that canal and not go in it, and it will defy their understanding. I built this thing. The water should fall right in. Nah, we're going to defy understanding. We're going to flow uphill, and they're going to think, well, how is this water flowing uphill? We are. We're going to flow uphill, and they're going to think, what the heck is going on? And they will not be able to stop this, as much as some of them may want to. But the other side of it is that, they have created a desert. They have, the way of humanity, the way of man, the way of society, the way of the matrix, the way of the institutions. They have created a desert, a lifeless desert with no plants, no animals, no water, just this lifeless, hot, scorching desert. And they need the water that we are delivering. They desperately need it, and they know it. And a lot of these people, they're going to be on their hands and knees begging for a drink of water. They're going to be holding up a cup of water, trying to take in as many raindrops as they can, because they are severely lacking love. They are severely lacking kindness. They are severely lacking truth, and it's eroding their soul. And a lot of these people who are haters and who are against this, they're going to see the waters, and they're going to change sides. For how long, I don't know. But I think a lot of people that you wouldn't expect are going to switch it up and are going to change sides and are going to go, whoa, like now that they actually see what love and kindness is, now that they actually see what truth is, now that they actually see true wisdom, true knowledge, they're going to go, I want me some of that. I need me some of that. Really. Because this is not just something that's a want. It is a need. It is a big, big, big need. And the thing is, when you look around in the world and society, it's like people try to act all nice and, happy or whatever, but most people are very passive aggressive. Most people are very hateful, judgmental. Most people just have this wrong mentality. And a lot of people, they're very manipulative, they're very deceptive, they're very weird. And most people have not woken up to all this stuff. Not to mention, look at the elites, look at the weird freaking stuff they're doing. Even though that stuff's on national news, a lot of people, most people, have not woken up. They haven't. And when this freaking hurricane comes, if you stay asleep, you're going to get swept away. If you stay asleep, you're done. Good luck. It's going to force people to wake up. Whether they stay awake, that's up to them. That's going to be on them. That's who they are. But it's going to force people awake where they're going to go, whoa, whoa. And the thing is, we can't just come in as some little peaceful, lazy river. Nah, we have to come as a hurricane. We have to come as a storm to shock them and to go, whoa. And really, it's not even us. It's going to be God moving us. We're just going to be drops of water, chilling, doing our thing. That's all I am. I'm a drop of water. I'm just going to say the truth that I know. speak on my thing. I'm not going to be aggressive. I'm not going to be bothering anybody. Not going to be doing any of that. I'm just going to be a peaceful drop of water. But there's a whole lot of us coming, and that wind is coming fast. And the thing is, for the people who want to stop this, you can fire bullets at the rain. You can fire bullets at the wind. You can pick up a sword and swing it around at the wind and the rain. It's not going to do anything. Their weapons, their ways of attacking, their ways of discrediting, all the things that they can do, it's not going to work on us. They're not going to be able to get us with it, because the way we're going about this, it's not in a selfish, egotistical way where we're trying to gain for ourselves. We're trying to get for ourselves. We're trying to build for ourselves. There's going to be some opportunistic people here and there, sure, but that's not what this is going to even be about. This is going to be about bringing genuine societal change. This is going to be about elevating consciousness. This is going to be about teaching the true teachings of Jesus Christ to the world. This is going to be about teaching love and kindness. This is going to be about teaching truth. This is going to be about teaching people that they need to love their fellow, and also that there is much, much, much bigger things than them. And that's a big part of this movement is, I'm just a drop of rain in this. And we're all a big collective together. We're just a big host together. And really, it's God who's in control. This thing is way bigger than me. I'm not the general of this. I'm not the commander of this. I'm just another drop of rain that's falling. And so are all of us. And that's what it's going to be like. We're just going to flood in. We're going to flood in, and those flood waters are going to come, and they're going to try to stop it, and there's not going to be any stopping it. And it's going to defy expectation. It's going to be very unexpected, and it's going to bring big change into society. And it's going to really get people to start to think about loving their neighbor, loving their fellow, treating people with love and kindness. And it's going to really start to get people to think about truth and to question the narratives that are given to us. And people to think about true knowledge, not just the sciences of man, but actual spiritual knowledge, actual wisdom for how you should live your life, actual wisdom for what's in the heavens way above us, actual wisdom for what's in the higher dimensions, actual wisdom of who God is, actual wisdom of these things. That's going to come. And people are going to start to learn that, and they're going to start to know these things. And most of all, though, people are going to start to love their fellows, start to treat people decently, start to treat people with love and kindness. People are going to start to work together and come together without societal institutions. People are going to say, we can work together without the government, without the church, without politics, without the education system. We can do these things on our own. We don't need these societal institutions. People are going to start doing that. And again, that's going to really... Because the thing is, they expect us to flow right into societal institutions. They have dug a gutter of these societal institutions, and they think we're just going to flow right into it. But you know what we're going to do? We're going to flow right around it. They're going to dig a big pit, a big gutter. They're going to flow right into here. Nope, we're just going to flow right around it, right over it. We're going to jump over it, and they will be like, whoa, whoa. And people are going to start to seriously reject societal institutions. People are going to start to say, I don't need all this. I don't want all this. I don't need all this. And people are going to start to do so in a very chill, relaxed, peaceful way. They're just going to start to talk about it among themselves, talk about it among their friends. That's all. They're just going to start to do that. And that's going to start to happen en masse. And the status quo is going to be massively, massively questioned. And the people who benefit off this status quo, they're going to try to hide, but the water's going to find them. And the thing is, it's like there's going to be the powerful people, the water's going to find them, and the water is finding them. But all these people who are manipulative, who are fake, who are narcissists, that water is going to wash away that mask they put up. The water is going to expose everything. Those winds are going to blow the mask right off. The water is going to wash off all the makeup and the paint and all the whatever, the fake stuff they're trying to put on themselves. It's all going to be blown away and washed away. And these people who are hiding behind lies, hiding behind fakeness, hiding behind their own egos, that's going to get swept away big time. And they're going to be left with nothing. And they're going to be like, what is going on right now? They are not going to expect it. It's going to be the last thing they expect. They think that they have won with their ego and they're going, oh, I'm so great. And they're going to be believing in all the societal institutions and stuff, and then this storm is going to hit them, and they're going to go, whoa, whoa, and they will not be able to hide behind anything anymore. And all these lies, all this fakeness that people are hiding behind, it's going to be torn away. And it's starting with people like you and me. People like you and me standing up to toxic people, to narcissists. People like you and me holding on to morals, principles, ethics, and values. That's the thing. Most people do not carry around a statute of ethics or morals. They do not have a constitution of ethics or morals. They do not have a code of ethics or morals within their heart. They're just going around doing whatever, really. And they don't care about any of that. Their code of ethics is societal institutions. Their code of ethics is just the law that's on the books. The law of the land is their code of ethics. Their code of ethics is whatever kind of stuff they're taking in from religion or the education system or politics or whatever. Whatever they're taking in from the Matrix. They're turning on the TV, watching it, whatever. It's just whatever they're taking in from the Matrix. That's their quote-unquote code of ethics. And really, it just suits their own ego. And it's not good for them. It's bad for their self-esteem. It's bad for who they are. It's bad for their soul. It's not good for them at all. But that's what they carry around. And all these people who have no code of ethics, no ethics or morals within their heart whatsoever, are going to be exposed. And their lack of ethics and morals is going to be exposed. And to have a moral code and to move with ethics and to, be a good person, that's going to become a far more popular thing. It is. And not being a good person is you got to be a good citizen, you got to be good with your religion, you got to be good with your political party. No. You got to actually be a good person, actually love your fellow, actually be honest, respectful, kind, and decent. And the people who are not living up to this, they're going to be swept off to the side. And it starts with just regular people like you and me, walking away from these people, calling them out on their BS, living our own lives and cutting these people out of our lives and saying no. It comes, for me and for a lot of us, it comes down to us saying no to our own families that we came from. And we're saying, no, you guys are really manipulative and toxic. And just because you're family doesn't mean I'm going to be sticking around forever. I'm out of here. And that's what that's where it starts, is when we start to say no to these people. We start to say no to the BS. We start to say no to, a lot of the societal institutions. We start to say no to that too. And then once we start to do that, more people start to do it. It starts to catch on. And the thing is, it's like right now, we're kind of the weird ones. We're the odd ones out. We're not in the mainstream, so to speak. But when this storm happens, we are going to kick down the doors of the mainstream. A giant wall of water is going to be at the doors of the mainstream, and it's just going to sploosh, flood, and we are going to flood in, and we are going to flood and inundate the mainstream to where they cannot look away from us, to where they have to pay attention to us, to where they are absolutely soaked. And all this stuff they valued from their own egos and their own foolish pride and all the deception and manipulation that they hold up as truth is going to be swept away. It's going to whoosh. It's all going to be swept away by that water. And they're not going to have anything left to hold on to. They're not. And I don't know what's going to happen with all this. I don't know how all this is going to shake out, but I can really feel it, that it's like, it's the big time for change. And I really feel like there's nothing they're going to be able to do about it. Some people are going to try to freaking fire arrows into the rain. They're going to try to swing their sword at the wind, and nothing's going to happen. And they're just going to look really, really foolish. And a lot of these people, they're going to have to eat humble pie. They're going to have to eat humble pie, humble pie, humble pie. They've already been eating the freaking shit sandwiches of the Matrix and of society. And, this shit sandwich tastes so good. And they're all mad at me and trying to reject us and push us off to the side because we won't eat it. We're saying that's disgusting. I'm not going to eat that. And they're all, oh, you're not going to eat this? Oh, screw you, whatever. And, there's some of these sandwiches, if you don't eat them, some of these shit sandwiches, you can get in trouble. So whatever, that's all I'm going to say about that. But we're not eating those sandwiches, and they are. And now they're going to have to switch that in for humble pie. And they're not going to want to have to eat that humble pie, but they're going to eat it though, because they're going to have nothing else to eat. And they're going to go, I want the, and a lot of these people are foolish. They're going to say, I want the shit sandwich. I miss the shit sandwich. I like eating it, whatever. They're going to do that. And a lot of these people are very, they love authority. They love following rules, whatever. They're going to come, oh, I love the rule. A lot of these people are going to still remain wicked in their own heart. That just is what that is. People are who they are. People are going to make the choices that they're going to make. But a good amount of people are going to wake up and they're going to start to say, what the heck is going on? No. A lot of people are going to start to treat people around them a lot better and are going to start to be a lot more loving and a lot more kind. And the thing is, society and the Matrix and a lot of people try to subtly stop you from being kind, stop you from being decent. Society tries to work against good people. Society on the surface tries to say, oh, we're good, we're nice, but really we're very passive aggressive. Really, they try to act like a nice person to make you feel guilty. Or really it's just like they just respect, they just respect the big fish eats the little fish. That's really, when it comes down to it, that's like what they respect. And they kind of like evil, they like drama, they like manipulation. They're just very into all this bad stuff. That's the only way I can really think of to describe it. And if you really look at the societal institutions underneath the surface, they have done a lot of bad stuff. They've done a lot of dirt. And a lot of these societal institutions are not even really needed. They're just kind of a way to keep people under control. That's just the truth of it. You don't really need all this stuff. And the truth is, once consciousness gets higher and once it gets raised and once there's more love, people will realize whoa, we can cooperate on our own. We don't need this thing to force us to cooperate. We can come together and cooperate on our own. And that's what we'll do. That's what we'll do. We'll start to just come together and cooperate on our own. We'll find good leaders among us. It's not going to be this weird, overly ambitious, fake, lying, deceiving, evil person becomes the leader. No, we're going to start to elect the best, the most righteous, the most kind among us, the most truthful among us will emerge as leaders, and they will be selfless leaders. Selfless leaders who are not trying to just get money for themselves and trying to, it's going to be totally the opposite of what the societal institutions are. And we're not going to even have a name, we're not even going to have a name. They're not even going to be able to define us. They won't even be able to put their finger on us. They're going to try to put us in some kind of box, but they're not going to be able to fit us in. And it's going to bamboozle them. They're going to be very, very, very confused and bamboozled by us and by what we're doing and by how we're moving. And the thing is, if you're being truthful, if you're being kind, what can they really do to stop that? And the thing is, if you're just one individual living a life of love and kindness and living a life of truth, they can try to stop you. They can try to, get you to whatever, maybe you trip up on something, or they can try to make something up, it's kind of hard to get you if you are, but there's things they can do if they really want to. But if it's all of us, ain't nothing they can do. Ain't nothing they can do. All of us are going to come all together. We're all going to be released by God, and we're just going to swoosh on forward, and we're just going to freaking flood them. Really, we're going to flood them. And that desert is going to be flooded with water, and that desert will be teeming with life. Trees will grow, plants will grow, there'll be many animals. It will just be a wonderful, wonderful place. And the world will become a lot better. It will happen. It will. I used to be pretty doom and gloom and all this stuff, but I realized the change is coming. The work has been done. I've been doing the work. You guys have been doing the work. We've all been doing the work. We've all been moving forward. We've all been pressing forward. And I really think like, because consciousness has gotten so low, we're kind of going to hit the bedrock and like bounce off the bedrock up, I feel like. That's kind of what I feel like. Consciousness has gotten so low that there's going to be like this rubber band effect. It's going to cause this great awakening, I guess you could call it. And it's going to change things around completely. And it's going to freak most people out. Most people are going to be very scared by this because it will expose them. But there is not going to be anything they can do about it. And they're just going to have to, they're going to have to sit back. They're going to have to trade in their freaking shit sandwiches for humble pie. And they're going to have to eat the humble pie because this stuff is, it's coming. It's coming, and it's coming big. And the thing about consciousness being lowered, it's like, I remember like 10, 15 years ago, your average person was a lot more friendly. It was a lot easier to maybe have a conversation with a stranger. People were just more friendly, more genuine, more generous. People were just kind of cooler. There was still a lot of problems in society, and there's always been problems in society, but I've noticed like people have become a lot more unfriendly, a lot more weird. People have just become a lot faker, and people have become a lot more hateful toward their fellow, a lot more selfish. It's happened. And there's going to be, it's going to go the opposite way. And a big reason why this is happening is people are being forced to wake up. I feel like I was forced to wake up because I'm like, I just can't take this anymore. I can't stand this. And other people are like feeling the same way. They're like, dude, I can't take this. I can't stand this. And it's like, for me also, it's like, I couldn't move forward in the matrix. I couldn't move forward being a person who was programmed by the societal institutions. On some level, I used to love the matrix. I used to be in the matrix, but it's like, I realized that that's just death. That's just deception. It's death. And I'm going to move forward in a different way. And I think a lot of people are getting there where they're like, I don't believe in this anymore. I don't believe in this. I don't care about this. I'm just going to do what I have to do to pay my bills and not get in trouble. And that's kind of where I'm at. And I didn't used to be there. I used to believe in it. I used to believe in the money and all this stuff. I used to really believe in it, but not anymore. Not anymore. I realize I'm just going to move forward with God in a completely different way. And I think that the fact that things have gotten so bad and people have gotten so fake, it's forced people to look for alternatives. It's forced people to realize like, hey, there has to be a different way. There has to be something different. And I really do, because I think that comfort is gone. And I think a lot of it also because family has been so destroyed. And now, I mean, maybe you could never trust your own family. I don't know. But now because it's like you really can't really trust your own family at all. And I don't know, just because of how much like, how just weird and manipulative and backstabbing and just how fake these people are. It just forced people to wake up to realize I can't trust my family. I can't trust society. I can't trust any of this stuff. I can trust God. And that's it. And I think that's really given people a different kind of faith. And people are done with organized religion. They're done with it. I am. I realize like I can be with God. I can be with Jesus Christ. I don't need this organized religion for that. And the organized religion forces you to think about God in some weird way. And we're starting to question the premise of things. We're starting to look and to say, hey, like, I believe in Jesus, but I got to go to this church on Sunday, and that's not what the Bible says. And it's like, well, what? And you start to think for yourself and realize that, like, they're just trying to keep us contained. Well, they profit off us. Well, they make money off us. Well, we work for them. And while we work for this stupid system, and while we work for the egoic deception. And there is so much deception. Really, there is. And all that deception is going to be uncovered. These waters are going to wash all of it away. There's so many things about the natural world, spirituality, even history, that are not true. and that these lies have been perpetuated as ways to keep our minds small, and for ways to make us for ways to keep us like spiritually shut off. That's a big thing that like the elites want. They want us to be spiritually shut off. They want us to only see money and politics. They don't want us to be able to see like bigger things. And we're getting to a point where we're like, yeah, I'm seeing bigger things, and you can't stop me from this. I don't care what you do. You can never stop me from seeing bigger things, and from seeing God, and from seeing what's really going on. And they want to just narrow our minds and really just pollute our hearts to make us these egotistical, narrow-minded, hateful people who are very easy to control and who they don't feel threatened by. But someone who is strong, independent, someone who is loving and kind, and someone who has an open mind and a humble heart, that's someone who can get stuff done. That's someone who's not going to, the games aren't going to work on that person. The manipulation's not going to work on that person. That person's going to have a strong sense of themselves and move forward. That person is not going to need society to be happy. That person is not going to need to play their game and play their deception to be happy. They're not. And more of those people are rising up. More of us are finding it within our hearts. More of us are realizing that we were created by God. Most of us are realizing that there is a God above us who loves us. And most of us are realizing that we have to love those around us and be kind to those around us, and that, love and kindness toward a fellow is everything. Most of us are realizing that. We're realizing how big and expansive things really are. We're realizing how much possibilities there really is. We're not trapped in this small, narrow way of thinking. Our mind is big and it's expansive. And we're overcoming these spiritual barriers, these mental barriers, these barriers in our heart. We're overcoming them. We're just jumping past them, getting past them. And when the time is right, we're not going to be the weird ones anymore. We're not going to be the odd ones anymore. We're not going to be the rejects anymore. We're going to be the cool kids. We're going to be the popular ones. We're going to be the ones people look at and go, wow, I want to be like them. We are. And there's nothing they can do to stop it. Literally nothing. And really, they're going to try to imitate us. That's what they're going to try to do. They're going to try to imitate us. And they're going to try to counterfeit us. And they're going to try to entice us with money and with this and that to get us to join them, to get us to be under their influence and under their control. But we're going to say no. We're going to say we're going to do it in the wilderness. We're going to do it with God. We're going to do it away from all of these societal institutions. And they're going to be shocked. They're going to be puzzled. And they're not going to have any kind of plan for this. They think they've planned for everything. They have not planned for this. And they are going to know who the Lord God is. So I'm going to end this video here. Much love and God bless.